Okay, here is a kit review of the USS Saratoga from a Space and Above and Beyond. I don't remember the scale. I guess I should have checked that before I started the video. I do not remember the scale of this ship at all. It's from Acme 360 models, and actually I can show you if you're just tuning in. The previous video I did of the Chig fighter, it covers the contact information, but here it is. It's just Acme360models.com. He has a bunch of Space and Above and Beyond stuff. Hammerhead in like 2 or 3 different scales, and then like a different hammerhead that's more advanced or something. A Chig fighter, Chiggy Von Richtofen, which is actually the same fighter, maybe just with decals. An ambassador class ship or something that the Chiggys came to talk to humans in. Some kind of Chig fighter or carrier ship. What else? I'm pretty sure he has a drop ship. I can't remember all that he has. He sells a bunch of Space and Above and Beyond bases and, like, I don't know, maybe some of the gear like the weapons or something, like a frag grenade or something like that. He said, and the thing too, yes, his kits are kind of expensive, not crazy expensive. They're not like Captain Cardboard. They're not like Howling Wolf. Howling Wolf's more expensive than this stuff. But here's the thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter who's more expensive. He also does multiple scales. He'll do the Chig Fighter 148, which is an expensive kit, but then he'll make one in a smaller one, like 172 or maybe even 144. I'm not sure what the other ones are. So he makes them. So if you can't afford the more expensive kits, you can get the smaller kits, which is super cool. But here we go. The Chig Fighter I bought off eBay secondhand. This is the kit I bought directly from him. My only 2 complaints about him is it takes a long time to get his kits, like a long time. But it seems like I've only bought like half a dozen or a dozen aftermarket resin kits from manufacturers. They all seem to take a long time, so I guess that's typical. So I guess we'll go to the uncool stuff first, which is tells you about the Saratoga, space carrier, John F. Kennedy class, commissioned in 2059. Let's see, construction, Aerotech Space Division, Newport News, Virginia. James Lovell Orbital Assembly Facility. Ships, it tells you the ships in the class, the Kennedy, the Powell, Colin, remember this is the late 90s, so the Gulf War is shortly over. Colin Powell, Yorktown, Valley Forge, Franklin D. Roosevelt, George Washington, Lexington, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Ticonderoga, Chester M. Nimitz, Bunker Hill, and Halsey. Gross mass, lights, which means empty, 649,000 tons, fully loaded, 890 tons. It would be nice to compare this against like a conventional nuclear carrier of today, like the Enterprise or whatnot. Overall length, 1,724 feet, or 526 meters. I can't remember how long the Enterprise D is. Beam 800. Overall height is 604 feet. Remember, it's got like a conning tower, like kind of like the Star Destroyers do. Hull depth 254 feet. Superstructure 220 feet. Armament. Okay, here we go. 1.2 gigawatt laser pulse cannon. 2 450 megawatt laser pulse cannons. 6 300 megawatt laser pulse cannons. 4 50 megawatt laser pulse cannon. And then 30 Phalanx 2 missile launchers. If you're not sure what the Phalanx is, it's this kind of like giant machine gun they put on the side of aircraft carriers today, and it's an anti-missile. Basically, during the Falkland Wars, the French sold a bunch of these. What are they called? I can't remember now. I had it right before I said it. What was it? I can't remember the name of them. Exocet missile. They sold a bunch of Exocet missiles to the Chileans and a few other people, and they sunk one of the English's carriers during the Falkland Island War, and so the U.S. invented the Phalanx cannon, which is now on this imaginary spacecraft, and it's just like a giant machine gun. And here it's a missile launcher though. 72 key torpedo launchers, propulsion, helium-3 fusion engine, 3 chemical rocket engines, and a Buzzard ramjet. Maximum sublight velocity is 96c. So I'd assume that's 96% or 0.96 of the speed of light. Maximum acceleration 3.8 grams. So I would assume that's times Earth's gravity. 3.8 Gs. Endurance and maximum velocity 7 years. Sublight range 5.7 light years. And the power 2 MF 3600 fusion reactors. Complement. The ship's company is 3,228 persons. I don't know how many are on a carrier of today. U.S. Navy Air Wing, 1,000 personnel. The Marine Corps and Space Cavalry, 1,300. U.S. Army Infantry, 564. Which is weird. If this is the Navy carrier, you wouldn't have Army Infantry. You'd have Marine Corps Infantry. Air Wing. What they actually mean is it's a MAGTAV. It's a Marine. Well, I guess it actually would just be an Air Wing. I guess that's right. 168 Hammerhead attack jets. 14 Stingray reconnaissance planes, and I don't remember those from the show. 4 Barracuda fighter bombers, I don't remember those either. 4 SWAC, space-worn warning and control vehicles, I guess that would be like an AWACS of today. And then 16 ISS APC armored personnel carriers, and I would assume that would be the drop ship, which is in the box, so all you can see is that. And then 8 SSRT suborbital short-range transporters. Maybe that's what the dropship is. Well, then 8 LC-19 landing craft. So this, comparing this to the actual real world, this is a carrier, but not just a fighter carrier like it is in like the United States Navy. It's more like a carrier plus an assault ship, like the Marine Corps' assault fleet, or it's really the Navy's assault fleet. Alright, instructions, and we'll throw all the boring stuff till we get to the cool stuff, because it's so cool and pasting. So this is just general stuff, how to work with resin. More just stuff, how to work with resin. And there's his contact information. I'm not affiliated with him in any way. As a matter of fact, I got a little argument when I ordered this kit with him, so I don't get anything out of this, but I think his kits are awesome, and I would love for more people to buy Space Above and Beyond so we can see other people do more videos about this stuff. Alright, get to that. So here is a very weird decal. It feels weird. I've never felt one like this. It's definitely done on a laser jet. This is for the base. I've already seen this kit. This goes to the base, and I think this represents the patch that was on the show. Some of the different personnel had patches on them. I think the Navy personnel, maybe the Marine Corps did too. And here are the decals. These are various landing pads, like where the dropship would take off, and a few other decals. They're not bad, they're just not really that sharp. Like you can see a lot of the, I mean, he printed this on his laser jet or something. You can see a lot of the lines. It would be cool to take this and make your own. It looks like it got wet. I think I got that wet, because I don't remember it being wet when I pulled it out. So I must have done that. But maybe do this yourself, or contact a company like JT Graphics, see if they can do it. So here's the base. There's your decal right there, boom. I do kind of like the base. Generally, I don't like resin kit base. It's hollow. It would be easy to light. I would get rid of this or do something different and then backlight it. Oh, we'll get to the good part afterwards. I'm not going to show you that yet. That's too cool. Let's get all the pieces out. I don't remember how much this kit cost. I think it cost about $250. I think you'd have to look at his website. The only reason I mention price is when I watch review kits, I want to know how much stuff costs to whether or not I'm going to buy it. So this gives you, in a nut in frame, this is a blowout nomenclature for the assembly, which is actually really nice. It's all CAD generated. It shows you all the different hull pieces go. And if I remember right, some of it's a little confusing. When I tried to dry fit, I couldn't figure out how a few things went. Like some of these aren't that clear. You're going to have to fiddle with it a little bit, but no big deal. And that's it. And it just says, test fit all parts before assembling with super glue, and do it in the order shown in the numerical sequence, so the numbers indicate the order. It may be necessary to place shims between pieces to make sure to fill gaps. Alright, so I guess I will show you this. So here's the bottom part, and what happens is the fighters come out of here. Right in frame, the fighters come out of here. These open up and all the fighters come out. So they drop out. Not like Battlestar Galactica where they the shootout in Battlestar Galactica. It's just like Babylon 5, not the ships, but the actual space station. They drop out, Alpha Wing or whatever would drop out. It's the same way. This is great detail. I mean, look how fine. He really did a good job. It all looks so good. Everything is perfectly straight. I don't know how he does this. Everything is perfect. I mean, I can only imagine that he built one of these and then just molded it and duplicated it, because they're all so perfect and uniform. If not, then the man's an artist. Here's the top. And actually, you know what's funny? Is this kit is way better than I remember. This kit's a little dirty or junky or whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of looks like junk in there. But I remember the surface being kind of weird. Like, I guess it is weird if you really start looking close. A lot of bubbles in here. There's actually a lot of bubbles. This whole area. Oh, this is under decals. So it looks like, if I remember right, things that you can't really see get kind of iffy, like all the stuff under the decal. That's not so cool, but it's alright. And the only other thing is this is cast so thin that this comes off. Maybe it's designed to be removed. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it was just... I'm not sure, man. It looks like a piece on top of there. Like a... I don't know, man. It's weird. Alright, so there's that. And let's pull some of the pieces out. This is backwards. I hunted around looking for this kit for like 2 months. I didn't even know if anyone made it. I just kept looking and looking and looking. And finally I found one. Your conning tower or your bridge or whatever. Super nice. Look at that. That looks a little bit like a what, a D7, right? A lot of detail. Then you see, like, if you get close into there, oops, that's where like a lot of the weird junk. There seems to be like really great detail, and generally these kits that I've seen, and then they get these like weird little junky areas, like maybe the molds aren't clear. I don't know what it is. I'm not really bitching as I'm just making an observation. There's that. I gotta remember how this else goes. Here's the piece for the middle. Again, really cool. I mean, a lot of detail. And I haven't done this in forever. This goes one way. I'm not sure which way it goes. I'm trying to remember. That doesn't look right. There you go. Goes like that. Goes like... And you can see, like, see how it's weird right there? Oh, this gets taken off. That's what it is. This part gets taken off. That makes sense. It's too smooth. I think it's going to slide off. A little bit better. I'm not going to put all these in there. This is actually the stand piece right here. It's got a nice little taper to it. And I think we are missing a piece. I think it's still in the box. Brrr. Oh, wrong box. There we go. And this long piece definitely got warped. That's expected. I don't think there's much you can do about it unless you put metal rod in there. A lot of detail. It's not just, you know, a rod. It's a lot of detail. There's all this weird texture. It's got to get cleaned up. Certainly worth it. Where does this go? Oh, it goes right here. It's not really going to fit in because there's a poor spot right there. Okay. These are the front and the back of the ship. I think I'm not going to put those on. Here are your little guns. And I actually put this together, I think. It wasn't. But these are your phalanx missiles, I believe. So you can actually put a pin in there and rotate them. Pretty damn cool. Where do they go? Where do they go? Where do they go? Oh, right here. This one goes right here. I'm not going to assemble all this stuff. I'm just kind of showing you. And the way these are designed, it's not, I don't know if you can see, it's not just flat right there. You can just put, you can actually put a rod in there and you can have this rotate. I'm not putting all this together, just some of it. And These guns aren't all the same, they're different. I may not be putting exactly the right ones in the right spot. Like the one I'm putting on now is slightly smaller than the other one I put on. Everything moves. So this one's slightly smaller than that one. I'm just going to start kind of placing because I don't know what they're all doing. We will leave them off. This is also some type of long-range cannon right here. This gets assembled like this, and then this goes right there. And then here is, I can't really assemble all this, but oh, here we go. That's not the bow on the stern. That is, if you look, maybe just let me put this together a little bit. Boom. See if you can kind of see me zoom a little bit. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Okay. So this is an exploded diagram of an antenna array. You have this bottom piece, which I'm not showing very well. Goes right there. Then you have one of these rods. Let's just call it this one. Then you have this two piece that goes on top. And then you have another piece that I don't see. I'm not sure where it's at. But let's move on. And where's this last funny piece go? Oh, this is part of the engine. And you can see, you gotta remember how this goes. This goes, oh, I guess I could zoom out now. And I guess I need to raise it up because you can't see anything. This goes right here in the back, and then the engine bells go in here. There's one main one and two small ones. Here's the main, here are the two small, so the engine housing would go like this. And these are so damn thin. This has got holes on the back of it, holes. This one is so thin that it almost doesn't have a back. They could definitely use some dress up of some kind. Of course, in the show, it didn't look like that. There was no detail, you know, from the era. And the rest of these parts are various gun parts or other parts like that. Like right here, there's these little, where are they? These all kick off the side, if you remember from the show. Bink, and it even has those. This has lots and lots of detail. Maybe I'll show you some of these up close. This is just part of the antenna that I was showing you a minute ago. It has another piece identical on the back, and that goes the antenna, and then the antenna goes to the back of the ship below the engines. Or, yeah, it does, goes back to the ship below the engines. And then the guns, you can see there's flash in there, but they're still really detailed. You clean them up if you choose to replace them with metal barrels, which I'd only do if the ones that are on the edge because I wouldn't want them to get broken. I was thinking about, I'm definitely going to light the kit. I don't think I would motorize it. I don't think I would go that route. The cannon and stuff. I wouldn't do that. Like the Yamato, the 2199 Yamato. It's motorized. I'm going to show you the inside. Solid piece. It's slightly warped. Once you attach it together, it wouldn't be warped anymore. This, of course, isn't warped at all. Which is funny. This is perfectly symmetrical. On the outside, and the inside, it's not. The beam is off. It's weird. That's really weird. It's like that. But there's definitely room for lighting. This is an amazing kit. I've been wanting to do a review of this kit since I started doing this channel. I started doing the channel because I wanted to kind of showcase the board cube because I thought it was pretty cool, pretty original. And then once I started doing videos, I started thought about doing unboxing videos of unusual kits, and I couldn't wait to do this one. This is by far my absolute favorite kit I own. I own a Randy Cooper Blockade Runner. I love this kit way more. This is by far like the coolest kit I own. I really want to work on this kit, but I love the kit so much that I want to wait until my skills are like amazing before I even touch it. Maybe even buy another kit just so I could work on that one before I worked on this one, another Saratoga. But it's kind of a waste. Why would you buy one when you could buy, you know, there's so many other kits you could buy instead of this, instead of having a duplicate. And I don't think the ship was ever like damaged, you know, like you know, Wrath of Khan, or like the Enterprise C, or like the End of Generation. So you couldn't do really a damaged version of it. I just noticed, by the way, the hulls are backwards. I don't know if the whole video they were backwards, but this actually lines up to that. So this gets turned around and it fits properly. And that's it. The previous video did the 14800 Chig fighter. The next one's going to be about the dropship. This is from Larson's design. This is not from Acme Models. He makes one. I don't remember anything about it, so I can't say anything about it. I think the reason I bought the Larson's was it was just way cheaper and it's way smaller. And I wasn't really sure if I wanted to invest the money in the dropship. And I don't know what scale it is anyway. But I would recommend, if you're interested in it, at least go to his website, at least email him, tell him you're interested in it. It takes some time to make some kits, so that would give him some lead time. His stuff is amazing. 360 or Acme360models.com. He has a bunch of super cool stuff. Thanks for watching.